today, Jeff and I are talking about a topic I'm super excited about. This is 5 regrets of the dying, how working from anywhere helps you avoid a life of regret. We'll talk about why we're talking about this topic in just a second. But before we start, Jeff and I are in Costa Rica together. This is one of the first times we've been together in 4 years in the same physical place, the same house. Same everything. I haven't seen Jeff in person in 4 years, which is wild. But Jeff, how's it feeling being in Costa Rica?
First off, it's a drinking episode. Yeah.
Oh,
buckle up.
It is. I don't know why I thought that was a
No,
soda
ma'am. That is a gin and tonic.
I didn't even know.
That is a gin.
It is Friday afternoon. We are recording this.
Hope it makes it through the pod. We'll see. We may have an editing gap, and you'll know what that means.
You know, we love a good Friday drinking podcast from you, Jeff.
You know what's good? You know what's good is last time we were in person, we had to record from a bathroom. You recorded from a bathroom. We're not doing that this time.
Otherwise,
it's pretty. We're pretty well set up.
We're still in different rooms because we don't have the setup to actually be in the same place because we're never in the same place.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out. Hey, any audio technicians, shoot us a note. We want ideas on hardware. We want ideas on how do we set this up so we can do this face to face? I see all these podcasters doing that, and it looks so good. And then we get together and it just doesn't work. We're like,
well, I feel like we need if we were downstairs at a big table, we could do that far apart with our microphones. But we have other friends here. There's people walking around. I mean, we could sit on opposite sides of the room.
According to ChatGPT, no. It's going to catch the bleed.
You don't think so?
It says this is a compressor mic, and it catches everything. So you'll talk over there, and it'll catch it in there, and Hussein's going to be pissed at us.
Well, so here we are. We're together in separate rooms. And ironically, I feel like it's actually, we talk so much on this podcast about remote work and working remotely and how to work remotely with your teams and, the freedoms of that and the loveliness of just having your own freedom. And at first, I feel like the first couple days, we were like, this is so cool. I can just ask you a question next to me. It was very convenient. But now, so as we're in separate rooms recording this podcast, we were just chatting. And I feel like I actually don't know how to work with you in person. It's easier to chat on a Zoom call or
But no, all you had to do was walk downstairs where I was waiting for you. It's
I didn't know you were waiting.
I mean, why would we not be meeting in person? We gotta talk.
Oh my god!
I'm sitting down to paint you all a picture. I was sitting downstairs, she says, "Okay, 5 minutes. We got to come up with bullet points for the topic and stuff." And so she doesn't show up. So I'm like, "Okay, I'll just make myself a drink." So I made myself a drink. She still didn't show up. I'm like, "I guess I should text her." And then she's here coming down the stairs, confused. She's it's easier to work with you online.
Well, this one was pretty straightforward. I didn't know we needed to prepare ahead of time. But it kind of is. We started chatting before. I was like, I'm just so used to seeing you on a screen and being like, okay, this is work time. But when I see you downstairs, I'm like, I just want to be your friend. I just want to have a normal life and not bombard you with work.
So we could be friends and work together in person.
I don't know.
This is doable.
So we're still figuring that out. If you're listening, it's actually kind of hysterical to me. But that's the story. The other breaking news, Jeff, I don't think you knew I was going to talk about this, but maybe, I don't know how many months ago this was, we were talking about pickleball on the podcast, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm just as good as you. I could definitely, I just want to set the record straight. Jeff is way better than me.
You did say that, didn't you?
I was like, I knew you'd be a little bit better than me, but I was like, how much better could you really be? I just want to let everyone listening know just to that I am fine being wrong. I am I like to be honorable here. That Jeff and I played this morning, and just two, as it was a full game, but Jeff gave me a lot of lessons, a lot of new strategy, different ways to hit. I'm a better player because Jeff taught me, and Jeff is better than me. So I just wanted to set the record straight and admit my own faults.
I appreciate the credit and the honesty to bring that back, to resurface that. Now, I do recall it. I think you said that on a podcast. I'm glad that we're all,
I remember.
Everybody's, but hey, you picked it up really fast. Your game looked
Thank you.
Totally different by the end of the day.
Decently good, but you were better, and I have a lot of strategy to learn. Because we had played racquetball together in Bolivia a lot of years ago. And I could like keep up.
Yeah.
Probably even a little better.
We played some good games.
So I always knew you'd be slightly better, but you're a decent amount better. You've been playing a lot, to be fair, and I haven't played as much.
I play a
lately,
lot.
So anyway.
This tan doesn't come from nothing. This tan comes from pickleball.
You were
It's
not
not
hanging
free.
on the beach laying there. You are getting that tan from pickleball. So anyway, just wanted to say that. But it has been fun. It's so cool to get to like, normally we're apart having to do all these things. And like, I just got to play pickleball with Jeff this morning and not talk about work and do other things. So that was really
That's good.
lovely. So
It's a good way to
there are benefits
wake
of
up in
being
the
in
morning.
person.
It's like, oh, cool. Sun's outside. Let's go get some air, some vitamin D, get out of the computers for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little bit better for the body, isn't it?
For sure.
And the brain.
Favorite way to start the day. Jeff's been hiking all around here in Costa Rica.
Fantastic
good.
hikes. Really, really good.
Yeah. Pretty beautiful. We'll send some pics. So
Oh, yeah. I
with
got some
that,
great
that's a
pics.
little-
I got so many good stuff from these adventures. It's amazing.
we love it. We love it. So that's a little update from where we are in person in the same place in Costa Rica. And now back to regrets of the dying. So
Good transition.
just a really natural transition.
Yeah, nailed it.
Just killing this. Guys, it is Friday afternoon. Brains are slow. Jeff's drinking. This is the perfect way to talk about regrets.
These
of
show
the
up
dying.
like once every 3 months, a drinking episode for me on a Friday.
Yeah, it's usually when the week has been like, we're like, we're not ready. Our brains aren't there to record. And it's like, okay, we got to do it. So this is what you get. But I think
It's going to be good,
usually
though.
better.
And we're 10 minutes in. We probably have only retained our diehards, our few hundred super diehard listeners, and the other
We love
thousands
you.
dropped off. So we love you.
We love you so much. And it's been so fun. We also did a live session, like a workshop the other day, and got to talk to hundreds of you live in the chat. So if you attended that and you're listening, it was so fun to actually get, so much of this is like, we're sending you emails, we're talking on a podcast. We know that you're all out there receiving this. A lot of you send us emails from time to time sharing podcast episodes that impacted you, or like you got a job and now you're traveling, or change your life because of the emails, whatever it is. But it was so fun to get to interact in the chat with so many of you. And especially, I know Jeff was late at night drinking it was an evening time. So Jeff was sipping his cocktails by the beach, responding to all the chats. I feel like you had the time of your life chatting with everybody.
That was peak. That was peak for me. Just seeing all the people with their energy hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I just drinking a coconut and a beer. Oh, my God. I was so happy.
It was fun. If you guys could have seen Jeff's level of joy after that.
We'll
it
see the
was
next one.
A+.
When are we doing the next one?
We'll do some more. Maybe in by the time it's maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like
Two,
that.
3 weeks? Okay. Yeah.
We'll see. But anyway.
That was fun. We got to do that again.
Yeah, look out for those. If you're not already on our email list, you can go to beachcommute.com/email so you don't miss info about those next ones where you can catch our team or us. Okay. So with that 10 minutes in, 5 regrets of the dying. Why are we talking about this and how it relates to working from anywhere, digital nomad life, having this freedom? So many of you listening might be familiar with the term 5 Regrets of the Dying. If you're not, it is a book. It was originally, it might have been, I know it is a book. It might have actually been originally stemmed from like blog posts or this other project. But regardless, there's a woman named Bronnie Ware who is Australian and worked in palliative care. So she had spent many years
What does that mean?
working with, it basically means working with people like at the very end of their lives. Think about someone kind of
Palliative.
like hospice type level as someone is transitioning out of this body, out of this life, caretaking for someone who is dying essentially. So this woman has been around, I think for decades, people who were dying and taking care of them in those moments, but it's like getting to know them at the end, right? So she has personal relationships with a lot of these people. So she wrote a book called 5 Regrets of the Dying, and we're going to go through each of those 5. Can't remember why I want to talk about this topic specifically today, but it came, I think, I remember why. In the podcast we did last week, I mentioned this briefly. I feel like it's been coming up a lot just as I've talked about this. There's aspects of this that I just think being able to work from anywhere, like around the world, having the freedom to, work remotely from wherever you want, can, I say severely in a good way, but just massively impact your quality of life. And so I wanted to tie them to each of these 5 aspects because I think Jeff and I used to record a lot of podcast episodes more of how to get a remote job, how to find remote job listings. We won't stray away from that completely, But a lot of stuff I feel like we've been talking about lately is just more depth of like why even search for this in the first place? Like why even go through all the hard work to get a work from anywhere job or to change your career, transition to something new, or take the leap to rent out your home and live abroad for 3 months, 6 months, a year, go, a month here, a month home, 2 months gone, whatever that looks like for you. But like experience different cultures, live in different places. So I thought it'd be really fun to tie like how our lives working from anywhere and what we've seen from so many of our clients and digital nomad friends tie directly to each of these 5 aspects, because I think when you have a why of like, why do you want to get a job that lets you work from anywhere? Why do you want to potentially go through all the hard work to live a life of travel, even if it's for 6 months or a year or the next 10 years, it doesn't matter how that can impact your life, so that when you are on your deathbed and you are looking back at your life, you won't have any of these 5 regrets. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Anything else to say before we jump in?
No, you're leading the charge on this one. I'm just going to respond to you. I like it.
Okay. So I feel like a second one has a big thing to do with this, but I'm just going to go in order of how they are listed in the book. So the first one is, I'm going to say it, and I'm curious, like your immediate reaction of how you think travel.
Okay, don't prepare
sort of, like,
Okay. All right.
Impact it.
I'm ready.
No preparation.
Got it.
Why would we do otherwise?
Yeah.
Take a big drink of your gin and tonic.
Run along.
Oh, you're almost towards the bottom. All right, take a small sip.
Okay.
Okay, number 1 says, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me.
Oh, that hits so hard. Holy shit.
Shoot.
Wow.
Mic drop.
I mean,
Mic drop, go.
how does that not apply to almost everyone in the United States?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, the amount of pressures from your family, society to kind of fit into the norm of expectations. You get a good job, you get a good income, you get your house, you get married, you have kids, and you just, this crushed and normal type of thing is considered good, and a lot of times I would say almost every time when you're trying to fit this mold of what everybody expects, you're compromising stuff that you actually want to do, what you actually want to do. I actually want to do this. And what happens is when you actually want to do something and you do something for somebody else, all you do is build resentment and anger towards yourself, right? Or maybe anger towards other people. I don't know. But I think a lot of times it's directed inward, right? And you just end up with this, I should have. And, it took bravery to say, I don't want to do what you think I should do. It hurts because you could lose friendships, you could lose family with that kind of thing. Like, this guy's weird. He's doing something different. I don't like that because I don't do anything different. I want them to be like me. I want people to be like me so I don't have to question my decisions. People like to confirm what they're doing with their life is a good thing by having other people do it because it validates what they're doing. And we've got somebody else that's not doing that. It's like, oh my God, I got to question myself too. This is terrible. So there's just all of that pressure to be normal. And with that, you just give up a part of your soul, I think. I think it takes more bravery to actually say, no, I don't want to do this. I actually want to do that.
Right. But you were saying, like, there's a lot of generic things you just said. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to that. I want to be different. But, like, when you layer travel on specifically or digital nomad life or doing the life that, you and I have been living or that other people might, how does travel specifically go against the norm? Or help you to like, not to live more true to yourself,
right?
And not what others think you should do.
So thinking in terms of travel, I guess what the societal expectation would be, you take your vacation, come back, report back on how your Hilton visit was in Egypt or I don't know, whatever, and in reality, like you go home. And I have talked to very, very few people that have gone on a cool vacation that didn't say, God, I wish I could see more places. I want to travel the world. I don't think I've met anybody that's not a digital nomad that hasn't told me, oh, I'd love to travel the world a little bit more. And then they don't. And they probably don't because they're afraid of all of these things, So, yeah, when it comes to this location independence type of thing, I do feel like people won't take that plunge because there is certain expectation and pressure that you're just going to stay local and accessible to people, I don't know. Am I misreading the question or?
No, you're reading it correctly. I was just looking for some specificity, but I agree with
Did I get a
everything
little too
that you said.
esoteric? It's like super
Yeah,
philosophical.
bring it down. You did. Like, there's a lot of generic words.
Oh,
Um, oh, but I was
I meant
thinking
it.
like,
I meant it. It's like, I didn't mean to use generic words. I was like saying what I felt.
no, I agree. I agree with everything, but it's interesting. Like, I think back to the moment I started thinking about quitting my corporate job, trying to figure out a way to like start a business or find a way to work from anywhere. And then the moments where I, told my family and friends I was gonna, pack up my condo and rent it out and fly to Asia for 4 months. And, it's like it just freaked everybody out. And I feel like everybody was like, don't quit your job. Don't do that. What are you doing? That's scary. Like, there's earthquakes there, there's danger there. What if you want to come home? What if you want to go back? Like, it was just so different than anybody else I knew was living back home. But for whatever reason, it felt like that was right to me. So rather than, like you said, all the people who were like, oh, you go on vacation, they're like, I wish I could go to, oh, that's so cool. You've been to all those places. I wish I could go to all those places. And I always just say, like, you can. Like, you can find a way. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think even quitting your job to try something new, to try something different, getting more, not even just the freedom to work from anywhere, but like taking the leap in doing so to maybe try something different that you like more, not just what you stumbled upon from what you studied in college or the first job you got that somehow you ended up doing forever, or what made the most money, taking the leaps to do that. And then also, I would say an added layer of this, like if you look at the phrase, it says, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. I think 50% of that assumes you know what you want in your life and you're not doing it because someone expects you to do something differently. The other 50% of that, I would say a lot of people, and this one's different for me because I haven't had this as much, but so many people don't even know what is true to themselves. Like if you said, erase what everybody thinks, no one cares anything,
They
go
still
do
don't
what's
know.
true to you, still don't know.
Really?
If you're listening, I'm really curious. Yeah.
But I
There's
mean,
something,
there's something in you when you're approaching decision points. You've got a gut feeling, right? Like you've got a gut feeling that says, I'm doing this because it's expected of me, and you've got a gut feeling that says this feels good
if
to
you're
me.
in tune with your gut.
Oh, okay.
A
That's
lot of
assuming that
people-
you're okay. Okay.
A lot of people are not. There's something Oprah says that's like, oh, I forget what the statistic is, but truly, like even from coaching, if you said to someone, tell me exact, like again, just even if you don't do it, even if it never happens, even if just tell me your wildest dreams, like what would your life look like? So many people don't even know, don't even give themselves permission to like, and I'm curious if you're listening, if this is you, like to dream big, to be like, I would love to go live in Italy for 7 months and then start this new job and leave my relationship and try something new. They're like, I don't know what I want. I just know I kind of feel bleh here, So I think a big part of it is that a lot of people don't even know. And I say that as like to tie it back into travel and nomad life and working from anywhere. For me, and I know we've talked about this, so I can say for you too, like travel has taught me so much about my truest self, and it took getting away like from my normal bubble of like my country, my city, family, friends I've known forever and ever, friends who are all doing the same type of life and career and all of that. So for me, actually like removing myself from that bubble and putting myself into situations where I met new people, new friends, people from different countries, where I saw how other people are living in a different country and different rituals and just day-to-day life or work. I feel like I learned so much more about myself. I knew a lot back then, but as I look at travel, I feel like it has allowed me to even know what a life true to myself actually looks like with like, I think about it as an onion if you're like, or like think about if you're like a light bulb and like your bright light is like how you like your truest self and how you want to live and who you want to be, and like mud gets thrown on that light like every year you're as you're growing up of someone says what do you want to be when you grow up,
That's
what
such
if you're
a
like this,
sad visual, but it's so true.
but it's so accurate and you
It's
don't
just your
even
light
realize
dims out. Oh, your light is
your
dimmed
light
out.
just dims over time from all societal stories and expectations. And I wanted to go,
Yeah.
be an artist and pursue this, but someone told me engineering was a safer career. So it's like more mud, more mud, more mud.
Yeah.
Nobody in your culture lives nomadically, more mud, you must stay home in this one place. Nobody leaves your family. You can't go whatever it is, right? It's not safe. It's this, it's that, more mud, more mud. So I think for
Mm,
me, as I've traveled, it's like removing mud just because I think sometimes it takes being away from that to even realize like, oh, like my light stopped. And it's nobody's fault. It's just kind of how society, and you just take on stories until you do something that pushes yourself in another way, right? Like I also
yeah.
feel like psychedelics, that's why a lot of people do, or therapy or like whatever it is, like can help as well. But as we tie this back to travel, to me, travel has helped me like remove mud and figure out who am I? What do I actually want away from all of that? And then as I look at like live if I'm on my deathbed living a life that's true to myself, I think travel helped me to figure out who am I? What do I want for myself? And how do I actually do it
Mm-hmm.
despite it not being the life others expected for me? So
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not, you might travel for a year working from anywhere once you get a job and live this life. And it might not, maybe a life true to you is back home or isn't traveling for the rest of your life, but maybe that year teaches you so much about who you are in your travel that you get to live more yourself, or maybe working from anywhere lets you move to a
Mm-hmm.
different city or place in your own country or whatever that looks like for you. There's so much of that. But those are really the two aspects of like how I think travel and digital nomad life and remote
Mm-hmm.
work and working from anywhere can really tie into just giving you more freedom to discover yourself and
Yeah.
to go against the grain, not listen to others' expectations, and live a life really true to you.
That last part that you talked about there, we kind of referenced that in a different way in a previous podcast with the guy that was complaining about digital nomad life. We were talking about the fact that when you're traveling, you really can't hide from yourself. It comes out really, really quickly. Like
Yeah,
we're talking about that in almost kind of like a negative way, but also
right.
it can come about in a positive way like this because you can actually understand all
Love
aspects of
you.
yourself, not just the angry voices that you're running away from, like we were talking about in
Yeah,
that podcast, but also like who you really are and who you really want will come out pretty
yeah,
quickly as you start traveling around the world.
for sure. So yeah, so to wrap this one up in like a nice pretty bow, I would say like for those of you listening to this podcast and you're seeking out digital nomad life and wanting to learn it, I would say maybe for you a life true to yourself might be a life of travel, and that's very different than what others might expect for you. That's like one simple answer to this question as you look back on your deathbed and you're like, you lived a life of travel. You explored the world. You did it despite it freaking everybody else out.
Mm-hmm.
You can die happy on your deathbed. And also, as you travel from this freedom, you learn more about yourself regardless of where you are and don't live what others expect of you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. The next one on here, number 2, I'm ready to get your reaction, is I wish I hadn't worked so hard. How does a life of travel or work from anywhere impact this one?
Makes you
Deep sigh.
yeah, I mean we've been talking about this a lot with the 996 trend. We work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. This hustle culture toxicity that's going on right now, still going on, and
Hmm.
people like building their identity around how much they work, and people getting like a sense of pride out of it, like bragging rights. I worked this many hours. I hustled this much. I punished myself this much. It's not good. We've already been through it. Like it's proven to shorten your life. I think that I think you can actually carry that with you in a travel life. I mean, I've seen people overwork
Yes.
many, many hours. I don't think that traveling fixes that. I think
No.
maybe if you travel and you open your eyes to, things that you value a little bit more, like at least for me, over time, I've seen, okay, I value my time with friends. I value my experiences and realizing that like when I'm really, really working a ton, and I think this is true for a lot of people, they're saying that it's good for them, that they enjoy it, they're building something. But a lot of times I think they're just replacing something. They're kind of it's a good distraction from what's really going on in them. See somebody working 70 hours a week, it's it's a really really good addiction to get you out of your own head if you've got something going on. It's like, oh, just go to work, and then like those thoughts go away for a little while. So I don't necessarily think it's as much about work as it is like an unhealthy addiction to something that takes you out of your head. And like we talked about before, traveling can kind of take you out of your head a little bit, or I mean, it can show you things that you're hiding from pretty easily. So I don't know. It might hold a mirror to you, and you might reflect and think like, oh, shit, I am working way too many hours, and I'm not valuing the right things. But I don't know that that travel is necessarily going to do that as like, you know what I mean? Would you disagree with
Yeah.
that?
I agree 100%. I think, like you said, travel. This isn't one like, oh, you start working from anywhere and traveling, and suddenly you work less and you have
Yeah,
different
it's a
priorities.
rewiring. It's
However,
not.
yeah, there are a couple of rewiring aspects of it. I think one part is simply just removing yourself from if you're still in an office and you haven't even started working remotely, never mind work from anywhere. I think it can also just take a layer out of like helping you to feel a little bit more free, helping you to remember that, I don't know, you don't have to be locked in an office to work so hard. But as you said, there's a lot of people who we meet in digital nomad life or entrepreneurs or just regular, people who are employees who are also working their asses off even, while you're traveling. But I think we talked, I can't remember, it was like maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago. I forget which topic we were talking about. But I do think for me, like in the culture that you and I are from in the US, so much of people's identities, as you mentioned, are like revolve around work. And for me, starting to travel and live as a digital nomad and meet people in different cultures and be in different countries where people stopped, when I met people, instead of saying, hi, what's your name? What do you do? They started asking me different questions of like, where have you traveled? Where have you come from? What excites you? Like it felt like different, deeper conversations, not immediately just like, who are you? And what's your career? So it took away a little bit identity of that. And I feel like gave me a little bit more permission to not work as hard. And it's been a lot of unwinding. But I think the other thing we mentioned before was throughout my travels, just seeing like surrounding myself instead of someone who's like everyone I knew from back home when I lived in New York, LA, or Atlanta. It's just like everybody Monday through Friday goes into an office from, quote 9 to 5, but really earlier and later. And just kind of like that is the life. And then when I first landed in Bali to start, I was with a lot of people who would work 3 hours a day and then, like I said, go surf in the morning or go explore a temple an hour away on their scooter, or go to a yoga class, or leave on Thursday night and skip work Friday to go to some new island. And it was just different priorities of living. And at the time, I feel like it really sort of like frazzled my brain of like, wait, am I supposed to live like that? Or, I've always been taught I'm supposed to like have this ambition and work so much and strive and achieve and get better and better and better and better and make more and more and more. Versus then travel, I think, helped me just see that there were like, it was a mirror to be like, there is another way. There are other ways to live. And over time, I think it helped me work a little less, live a little more. If we're in Costa Rica, I'd be like, you know what? If my brain is tired, I'm gonna go, dip in the ocean and take a 30-minute nap on the beach and then come back in. And it past me would have been like, it's 10 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
must work. It's work time. And now I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Like that's good. So that's how travel specifically has impacted. But I think as a broader thing, just talking about this book in general and the learnings from it, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I would say you and I probably still work harder than we need to or quote should. And I think if you're listening to this is working from anywhere, I think does give you a leg up to help you not
Yeah.
work so much and kind of just be like, oh, especially with travel, I think you're like, oh, you're in Spain, you're in Thailand, you're in Argentina, you want to explore, so you might work less just because you're like, oh, there's other things to do and live, instead of like, oh, it's the same park outside and the same
Mm-hmm.
friends and the same restaurant. Like, I'll get to that tomorrow. But I think this is one both of us and probably many, many people listening could still take away of like, if you're on your deathbed, you are not going to care that you worked so hard. And like, I think so many of us still put so much into the identity of work and like, it's just become so ingrained in us. And I think back to the way, humans were made. I think even if I had all the money in the world, we'd probably want to work on things like you don't want to stop working in some ways, but you do things that are just creative or fun. And so just to try to incorporate so much more of that. And, for me as a career coach, one of my greatest passions, the reason I got into this was like, I wanted to help people figure out work that they actually like. So even if you are working, quote, hard, is it something that you enjoy doing, that you look back and you loved spending your time, not just like, oh my God, you wasted 9 hours every single day, 5 days a week, or whatever that is, just crushing your soul, working hard for what, So how can you think more creatively to get more freedom, to be in inspiring places, to work a little less, to care a little less about work, I think is a huge thing. Like, do it. We have to, many of us, to make money, but can it be something you like more? Can you do it a little less? Can you be in inspiring places and just, not stress about it, not work so hard, and like enjoy other aspects of your life?
Yeah, I agree. And same thing with people on their dying bed, older people. If you were to, if you were to give them an end of life priority, like you could have one more thing, you could offer them anything. You offer them $1 billion. You could offer them more kids. You could offer them more property, more land, or whatever, or more time. 100 times out of 100, they're gonna pick more time, right? And that's like, if you break it down, that is the most important currency that we have. It's more important than anything else. It's the only thing that's going to completely go away and is predictable, right? So, I mean, the question really is then, what do you do with your time, right? Yeah. If that's that's the only thing that's really going to matter at the end, then you gotta choose it wisely, because it's inevitably running out.
Okay, this third one I feel like might be the least involved with travel, but still worthwhile. I'm curious if there's a way you can connect it. But number 3 is, they could all be connected to travel. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. So, Jeff, do you think travel has helped you express your feelings more?
Travel, no. I think self-discovery, yeah, because I think it's a different thing. I think an inability to express your feelings comes from a multitude of different causes in your personality, and learn things from your parents and friends and things like that. And I think that takes a deep unwiring to be able to do that. Can travel impact that? Maybe not for me. It didn't. I don't know. Do you have a case for it?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question, and it might be correlation. Let me ask you actually this 2-part question. One is answer the yes or no, and then I'm going to ask the second part, and then we'll unpack it.
Okay.
If you think about your digital nomad, our digital nomad friends, people who have traveled, work remotely, work from anywhere, versus friends from home, do you think your travel friends express their feelings better? Like, have that communication, that ability, done more self-development work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if that's true, I feel like our travel friends are expressing feelings way better and more. So the second part of that question is it the people who would be doing that anyway?
Chicken or the egg?
Right. Is it chicken or the egg? Is it causation or correlation?
I think it's the first one. I think it's people.
Like, those are the type of people who then go choose to travel?
Yeah, I think I think these type of people are seekers looking for answers. And I think they look inward as well a little bit more often, a little bit more introspective at times. So I think it's the first one. I don't necessarily think that traveling.
It's like travel's not unlocking feeling expressing.
Don't think so. I don't know. I mean, if you get an argument against, I'd hear it, but it hasn't been for me.
No, I was curious.
No.
I think I was kind of unpacking that live as we talked about it, but I think the same. I'm like, do I think travel, it's like, did I go to a new country and be like, I can express my feelings better? Mm-hmm. I don't think so, but I do think, I think I was on this self-development path kind of as I decided I wanted to be a nomad, as I was like seeking this out. So like you said, maybe it's a correlation, but I do feel like my self-development, like all the development I have done within myself has exponentially increased throughout my travels.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like I can't say I'm sure. I think I know I would be seeking out a lot of this even if I wasn't traveling, but I think just meeting different people, learning different things, learning more about myself. But even I don't know, meeting from people from different cultures. Like, my ex who I met traveling was Israeli, and I hung out with a lot of Israeli people who I would never have met if I just was back home. And the way that they expressed feelings and communication and like the bluntness of it was just like so different from me. And I know I learned to express my feelings and not be afraid to hurt other people's feelings, like, because of that. So would that ever happen if I didn't travel, if I didn't meet other cultures, if I didn't learn how they communicated? I don't know. So I don't think it's exactly that, but I do think for whatever reason, like, people who work from anywhere and who do travel definitely tend to, I don't know, express their feelings more and share, like, communicate differently than the average person who hasn't.
Yeah. And I think this kind of lifestyle can bring that out too. If you're already are kind of looking for that, this lifestyle is pretty well set up to do that.
Yeah.
It gives you a lot
Yeah.
of opportunities to really dive into that section of yourself.
Yeah. It's interesting. Somehow I can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel like somehow
There's
it
something
helps.
there. There's something there.
There's something there.
I,
There's something
I
magic in
can't
there.
quite I can't find the smoking gun on that one. So yeah, there's something there.
But I feel like those of us on our deathbed who have traveled somehow expressed our feelings more. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say so.
Can't say why, but it's somehow happening. Okay. Number 4. I feel like this one is like ironically should be the opposite, but I think travel does impact it in a positive way. So number 4 is I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. So this one is saying like someone's on their deathbed, and maybe they lost touch with friends from back in the day. Would travel? It's like in my mind, I feel like travel would make you lose touch with your friends because you're like bopping all over the place. You're not home with them. But I don't know. But I actually think differently. So I'm curious your thoughts.
That's tricky. I think I'm kind of in a unique scenario here because I grew up in kind of a small town, rural suburbs, and most of the people in
You
my
don't match the people back home.
no, I don't match the people back home. They all kind of had their kids, moved away, didn't really understand my lifestyle, so we drifted apart very, very quickly when I started traveling. So I don't really have a home group of friends. I've got like a big group of 60-plussers that play pickleball at this point that I hang out with. That's like my primary hang group. And then all of my friends around the world. Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot. My friend group is actually way bigger than it ever has been. There's everywhere. They're scattered all over the place. So yeah, I don't think I necessarily fit the mold on that one because with my with the people that I travel with now, yeah, I stay in touch with them pretty well, I would say. And, it's always one of those things. We always joke about it. You don't see one of your digital nomad friends for a while. Like we just saw, Jim, who's here staying in the house with us, a friend of both of ours. I haven't seen him in a year and a half. He walks in the front door and she's like, oh, yeah. Hey, what's up? and we just catch up on what I missed for the last 18 months. And it was like he never left. It's like just picking up a page from the book. You're just like, okay, that's right where I left off and nothing changes. It's just like home again. So I don't know. What's you? Okay. I want to hear a little bit more about yours because I've met your friends who are downstairs right now who are lifelong friends. Since 7th grade, I think, right? With Janelle?
7 years old.
Since 7 years old. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you still have a tight knit crew from your original life before you
Original life.
changed into your nomad life. So maybe you've got a better answer to this question.
Yeah, it's really interesting. That's why when I first think about this, it seems like, let's say when we say you work from anywhere and you travel, let's say you're literally in a different country every month, or you've moved across the world and spend most of your time elsewhere away from those friends from back home, that this regret of the dying is like, those are the people, let's just say that you're like, damn, I'm on my deathbed and I wish I had kept in touch with all those people. I absolutely do, but in my mind, if I just thought about it, I would think, oh, living a life of travel would just immediately be like, I lost touch. I don't stay in touch with my friends as much because you'd be physically away from them. But for me, as I think about my friends from back home, I have a lot from Atlanta where I grew up, and that's some of my friends downstairs are here for a couple of weeks, and Jeff has got to meet them, which is so fun to merge friend groups. It's like one of my favorite things to merge fun people who will like each other. But if I think about those friends from back home, like I left for college, I then moved to New York, I then moved to LA. So I was already kind of separate. I actually happen to have a lot of my Atlanta friends were in New York for a lot of years. So I don't know, I've been lucky to be really close proximity physically to a lot of my friends. But I guess what I'm saying is when I didn't have a work from anywhere job, I was living in a different state and I only had 2 weeks of vacation. And some of those I was actually on vacation elsewhere, just, with a boyfriend or with whatever and not with friends. And then I might have gone home for Christmas for like 1 week, or my friends would come visit me for a weekend, or I'd go visit them for a weekend. But I actually didn't get to spend much time with them, even when I was working in an office. So ironically, I feel like for me, traveling has allowed me to spend more time with my friends. Even if I was in 10 different countries in 1 year, I'm usually spending a month or two back home or somewhere visiting. Like I have more time. If I go to visit a friend, it used to be like okay, I'm going to leave Friday night after work. I'll get there late Friday night. I'll hang out with you Saturday and half a Sunday, and then I have to get on a flight back home. So we have like a day and a half together. And now with that, I'm like, hey, I can let me come Wednesday and I'll stay a week, or like, I have more time with people because of the freedom to work from anywhere. So if I was living in LA, I don't get to see those friends who are in Atlanta, but now I'm back for 2 months and I get to hang with them way more. So I think even just the physical part of it, I absolutely do. And then there's something about nomad friends. I feel like maybe because we've learned how to communicate and have to, like you, also have so many friends who are not only from different countries, are in a different country at any given point. Our friends are like moving targets on a globe. Like someone's in Japan, someone's in Greece, someone's in Spain, someone's in Mexico. Like, they're fucking everywhere. But like, I voice note so many of my travel friends on an ongoing basis and keep in touch with them really beautifully, and it's just allowed me to meet more friends. So I don't know, I think I personally do a really good job of staying in touch with friends, but to tie it back to travel, I think it's actually given me more ease to physically see the people who I need and want to see. So I think I do get to stay in touch with friends better with my work from anywhere freedom than if I hadn't, and therefore I'll regret that less. If I died at my deathbed today, I have happily kept in touch with so many friends, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm a little bit jealous of your home situation. It's pretty good. You've got really good friends downstairs, and that's just like a sample of them. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so special. We were trying to chill. Like, it's unusual. I went to like a really small school, and people just stay in touch like forever. So I know that's unique and special. But then I feel like you've built that with our nomad friends, and like you have that in nomad friends now. So we can't always deal with like, you don't know what cards will get dealt in your childhood. But I guess the point of this is, if you're listening, a work from anywhere job can give you the freedom to make new amazing friends around the world that you relate to more now, or physically go visit more friends and spend more time with the ones who might be in different locations than you.
Okay.
They're good.
What's the last one?
All right. Drum roll. Number 5. One last drink. One more sip of your drink. So
it's
number
gone.
5 is... Oh, okay, great. Time for Jeff to cook dinner. No. Number 5 is, I wish I had let myself be happier.
Oh.
How do you think travel or nomad life might play into this one, to regret or not regret the end of your life?
Wow. We're such a glutton for punishing ourselves. Like, it's this culture of you're not allowed to enjoy unless you suffer a little bit. Do your chores before you enjoy life. Wake up in the morning and be productive, or else you're, lazy. This kind of thing. God, we're so bad at that. I think traveling shows you so many more opportunities to enjoy life the way it should be enjoyed. I mean, let me give you an example. So we're at the beach, amazing sunsets, right? And if I were maybe at home in the home office where that's not available, I would keep working, and not allowing myself to enjoy life as much. Because that's down there, I will put it down and say, fuck this. This is important. I need to go enjoy this part of life for me. And there's a lot of opportunities like that, like all over the place when you're traveling. We went and played pickleball in a beautiful jungle canopy this morning. It's because like I want to enjoy life. I don't want to suffer all the time and punish myself in order to earn enjoying life. I don't want to have to earn enjoying life. It should be innate. You should just be able to enjoy life no matter what and be happy, and not like go through this whole thing that's expected. Work 9 hours and then you go enjoy life. It's like, that doesn't quite make sense to me. So I just think like, maybe just if you're traveling and you see the opportunities around you and you take them, then travel can probably have a pretty big impact on that. I don't think it'll happen naturally, because I do travel with people that are heads down all fucking day. I'm like, why are you even traveling? Do you even want to be traveling? Is this just impeding your work or whatever else is that you're doing, But I think the opportunities are definitely there if you take them.
Yeah, I love what you're saying about the, like, as a society, we're like, must suffer, must earn our happiness. I must like work hard in order to let myself be happy. there's a lot to unpack with that, the self-development world. I've been trying to do that as well, just to be like, I can just be. I can just, like, I don't have to work in order to then go play pickleball. It's like, or walk the beach or hike or sit and stare at a view of the ocean. Like, I can do that first if I want, because that makes me happy. The first thing that came to my mind as I just read number 5 was to, like, enjoy life now and not later. So as I think about why so many people, I think back in the day when we think about work from anywhere, nomad life, it was really more about checking off bucket list locations. Now I think work from anywhere has sort of evolved just to have more freedom, to visit family, to, maybe vacation a little longer, to, like, live differently. But when we first started, I'm like, back when we were
Back in my day.
in the old days, back in my day when I walked uphill both ways in the snow. But I think a huge, I feel like the big thing that people started digital nomad life was like, wait, why do I have to wait until I'm 65 and retired to be happy and enjoy life? What if I just started doing it now, right? What if I don't wait until I'm, older, or my knees can't hike as many places, or I'm not as healthy, or maybe you don't even live to that age. Like, we don't know what happens in order to, quote, let yourself be happy and, like, travel and see the places you wanted to see and explore the world and check out those bucket list, like, locations, or those bucket list activities that you maybe want to do around the world, or, like, go to some race car event in Dubai, like, whatever makes you happy. So many people will wait until they're 65 and then give yourself the freedom to do that. So my first thought was, like, I wish I'd let myself be happier, was like, now, today. Like, does it make me happy to go travel to live at the beach? I can do that now. I don't have to wait until retirement. I don't have to only let myself do that 2 weeks of the year. I can go wherever makes me happy, to whoever. I also am, like, a firm believer of, like, we have control over ourselves. Like, I don't, not relying on external things to make us happy. I'm not like, oh, I need to go see my friend at the beach in order to be happy. But also, it's a lot easier to be happier when you are doing those things that you just love. Like, when we get to go play pickleball in the jungle today, when we get to go swim in the ocean later, when we get to, like, spend Saturday now at the, like, even just living here for this month surrounded by friends. I'm like, why isn't everybody, I love this lifestyle of, like, just laughing every night. Like, I've laughed more in the last week with all of you guys than I have in a really long time when I was, like, back home. Okay, so this is gonna sound abrupt if you are listening, but our power just went out here in Costa Rica. We've actually been here, like, have we been here 2 weeks, 1 week? I don't even know how long.
Like a week and a half. Yeah.
Or longer. We got here on a Monday. It's not, I don't know. It's been almost 2 weeks, whatever it is. The power has not gone out. This isn't a normal thing, but it just cut out. So we had to reload this, and now we've forgotten where we left off. We know we're on the last one about letting ourselves be happier. I know I was on a rant about enjoying life now and not waiting till retirement. So I'll just save you, because I was probably going to go on and on about living now, traveling now. But I do, just to recap, or to kind of cap off the end of it, I should say. And also, Jeffrey filled his drink, so very important.
Well, I had to go downstairs to get better reception to upload. I mean, it's digital nomad life. I had to go. I had to go find the router and put my laptop on top of it so that it would upload, because we had a power outage.
Exactly.
You get little wild cards out. It's part of the life.
It is indeed. I don't even know why I went out, but anyway, all of that to say, I do feel like getting remote freedom, working in a way that lets me work from anywhere, whether you're working for a company that lets you work from anywhere, or you're starting your own business or company that you give yourself the freedom to work from anywhere, I do think it lets you be happier, because, again, like I said, we are our own internal fulfillment of happiness. You can be happy in a box by yourself, but again, I just think it's easier to be happy when you are doing the things you want to do, and most people are wired to explore the world. You like to travel, you want to go see new cultures and places, and go spend a month in the sun on a beach when it's cold and snowing in winter for 6 months on end wherever you live. It's easier to be happy. Get some vitamin D. So anyway, I do just genuinely believe that, like, doing all of this early in your life, not waiting for retirement, and also just throughout the year, seasonality, or just doing the things that you like to do, going to the places you want to go, surrounding yourself with the people you want to be at. Even if you need to, like, be home in a place you don't like for most of the year, working from anywhere, maybe you can get away for 1 month and just, like, be a little easier to be happier. So anyway, when I look at the regret of I wish I had let myself be happier. I do think you mentioned a lot of this. A lot of that is just our own permission, no matter what, no matter where, not feeling like you have to suffer. But I do think a
Yeah.
life of travel and work from anywhere freedom can just make it a little easier. And also,
Yeah.
I do feel like I've learned so much from travel friends who just, I do think our travel friends and people who prioritize travel and nomad life and a different life that gave them this freedom are people. It's like the what do you call it? Is it causation or correlation? I think it's a correlation of the people, but surrounding ourselves with the type of people who prioritize their joy and their happiness. It's not every single nomad. Like Jeff said, there are a million nomads who
Mm-hmm.
also are just lock themselves in a room and work forever until they, suffering until they make $1 zillion. But
Yeah. Well,
I
even
think
then, they're
as
just
a,
going to replace it with something else, right? Like,
yeah. But as a whole, I feel like I have been
yeah.
inspired to live a more joyful, intentional, happier life by the
Mm-hmm.
travel friends that we surround ourselves by. So there's that.
Yeah. 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 I agree. I agree. I think it's just, it makes it more visible and more available if you're open to seeing it. Because you have to see it. Yeah, we do have those friends that just keep replacing things with work and other things. But it makes it a little easier. I mean, when you're in the house and you see that sunset setting on the beach, it's hard for you to not want to go enjoy life a little bit more. It makes it really hard, you know? It's like it's right in your face.
Yeah. And you get to put yourself in those places.
Yeah.
So that's it. Those are the 5 regrets of the dying and how living a work from anywhere life gives you more freedom to not regret your life as much when you're on your deathbed. So again, I think, when Jeff and I, like, if I look back to the beginning of this podcast, I think so much of it, we were like, go travel the world, live in a different place every month, live like we have. And I feel like as we've evolved, which I'm proud of us for, it really has evolved more into, it doesn't have to be that, but like, what does your version, like, I think work from anywhere can give you so much more freedom to, like we said, go visit family for a month, go spend a week with friends instead of a weekend that you wouldn't see otherwise, like visit those friends from back home, get to a beach in the tropical lands when it's winter and let yourself be happier, let yourself live now. So as we check up each of these boxes of the 5 regrets of the dying, like I do wholeheartedly believe that in the way society exists today, working from anywhere can allow you to not regret your life if your life ended tomorrow or 100
Mm-hmm.
years from now. So it's really interesting to think about.
Yeah. 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 I agree with you. Got nothing to add.
Beautiful. Well, with that, if you're not already on our email list, you're ready to work from anywhere and you want those work from anywhere jobs sent to you, we send out a daily email that can help you get a remote job. So check out beachcommute.com/email if you want help to kind of kickstart your work from anywhere life. If you enjoyed this episode, if you are now learning how to regret your life a little bit less on your deathbed and you want to thank us for that,
Mm-hmm.
we would love a 5-star review. It just are like not even review, the 5-star things on Spotify and Apple really help other people find this podcast and helps it grow so that we can keep coming to you with more stuff like this. And again, just getting to talk to so many of you live last week. There were so many of our podcast listeners, of you guys listening on there. It was just so fun to chat. So again, even though it's just Jeff and I chatting in this moment, like we feel you on the other end. We love when you comment on Spotify. It just makes us happy. So we're so excited to be in touch with you and honored you listen and spend your time with us. And with that, we will see you next week.